Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to crack open a really powerful and, pretty formal English idiom that you'll hear in all sorts of important places. Think legal documents, big business meetings, even motivational talks. We're talking about vest in. So let's just dive right in.
Okay, so let's kick things off with a little question for you. Picture this. You need to say that someone is being officially given full power or maybe some specific rights. How do you say that in a way that sounds really formal and, impressive? Well, the idiom we're talking about today, it is the perfect answer. So, what on earth does vest in actually mean? What's the core idea here? Well, it's not just about casually giving someone something. No. This phrase implies a really formal, secure, and often permanent transfer of power or rights.
When you get right down to it, to vest in means to formally grant or place a power, a right, or some responsibility directly into the hands of a person or maybe an organization. And here's a cool little fact. The word comes from the Latin for clothing, so you can kind of think of it as officially clothing someone with authority, making that authority a part of who they are in that specific role.
And this, right here, is the key. This is not just a temporary loan of power. When a right is vested in someone, it becomes a fundamental, baked-in part of their position. It's an inherent quality, something that's deeply attached to them. Now, what's really interesting is that this idiom kind of has a double life. It's used in two very different, though related ways. So let's break down both sides of that coin.
Okay, so you can see the two main uses right here, side by side. On the one hand, you've got the really formal legal context where vest in means to officially grant authority. But then on the other hand, there's this more personal, motivational context where it means you're investing your own resources, like your time and energy into something, usually your own personal growth.
Look, theory is great and all, but let's see how this thing actually works out in the wild. I've got two examples for you that perfectly show off these two different contexts. All right, here's our first example, straight from that legal world. The law vests in the president authority to make emergency decisions. What this means is that the law officially and permanently gives the president this specific power. It's really a textbook, classic, formal use of the phrase. And now for our second example, which has a more personal vibe. The company encourages employees to vest in self-development through continuous training. See, it's not about legal authority here. It's all about investing in yourself, putting your own time and effort into your personal growth.
Okay, let's pull all this together. If you only remember one thing from our little explainer today, I want it to be this.
Just remember the two sides of vest in. You're going to use it in a formal way when you're talking about an official grant of power. And you'll use it in a more personal way when you mean you're investing your own time and energy into growing. So you can think of it as either someone giving you formal power or you creating your own personal power. And there you have it. Vest in. So whether you're talking about the powers of a huge organization or just your own personal journey, it's a fantastic phrase to have in your vocabulary. I really hope this helps you use it with a lot more confidence. Thanks so much for watching.